Okay, so I really wanted to add more footage to this video, but between working on my dad's apartment and Father's Day and TB videos and GAC, I really haven't had um, much of an opportunity to do as much testing as I normally do, so I apologize for that. I will say that some of the things you're not really going to see in here in this video are Jedi Luke only teams, that is without JKR or Rey or something else. I've alluded to this in other videos that while Luke is a great character, he's not going to take GLs on his own. Without gas, without JKR, without Rey, another GL. It's just not going to happen. As great as his kit is, whether he's the leader or just another tune in the team, yeah, it's just not enough to take out GLs. So I will be posting, or you'll be seeing a number of videos or clips, battles that I did test out, had a lot of fun with. Luke is in my starting 5 for Arena. He is not the leader, but he is definitely in there, and he definitely makes a tremendous difference. Before, my team was Rey, Jedi Knight Revan, Gas, Hermit Yoda, and GK, and I think really only one or two guys on my shard could beat me. Both SLKRs, one full First Order and one with Malik and GBA. But now, I think only one guy can beat my team. And you'll see it, but I'll tell you what it is. I'm running Rey, Luke, Gas, GMY, and then either Hermit Yoda or GK. It seems like GK is obviously a little bit tougher because having a tank in there makes a big difference, especially one that taunts pretty much constantly under a Rey team. Yeah, so I did have to spend a little bit to relic him to where I wanted him to be, to max out his relics, because I did not expect to G13 wedge during the course of the event. Turns out I didn't necessarily have to, but I don't like RNG being the driving force behind success or defeat. So, I mean, I'm not happy, but I'm okay with having G13 wedge in order to beat the ship mission during the event. I actually think that was the hardest level of the whole thing. All right, so here I'll just show you what I'm running in Arena, or one of the two variants I'm running in Arena. It's pretty similar to my old team. Just put Luke in there instead of Revan. Revan does work very well with Luke, especially in TB, despite the fact that he is Old Republic, and therefore does not totally synergize with Luke. Whoops. Yeah, I was running my battery really low that day. So here I have Hermit Yoda in there, but I actually think it's a better team with Grand Master Yoda in there. It's a lot of DPS. Ordinarily, I have Hermit Yoda in here to heal Rey up after she does Lifeblood all the time and drops herself down low. But I don't know that I need Hermit Yoda in here. And the battles generally don't last long enough to get Master's training up on enough people to really warrant Hermit Yoda staying in here. So this team, when I had Jedi Knight Revan instead of Jedi Luke, I would lose at least 2 or 3 people. Here, 5-0. So here is another with the same crew. but with Grandmaster Yoda instead. And I actually think that this is the better team. I did put it on auto the other day, but I forgot to record it. It's obviously not as clean as doing it manually, but it is possible. That AoE stun is just absolutely devastating. Yeah, and having GMY in here is nice. Even though SLKR strips all buffs, it is very nice to have GMY in here. There's just a lot of DPS on this team. I was worried about taking out Jedi Knight Revan because no savior, but it just I don't know that I necessarily need him. And this team does very well on defense too. Yeah, again, same thing. Like when I used to do these battles, I used to lose at least 2 or 3 guys, like I said. But now with this team, even without Hermit Yoda in here for healing, it's pretty much a flawless victory. I mean, obviously these are not nearly as exciting because it's GL versus GL. It's quite difficult to lose GL versus GL, but just wait for the next video or the next clip. Yeah, so this is what I'm running in Arena. And see you later. So yeah, you can run it on auto. It's obviously not quite as good, but it's possible. Okay, so I wanted to try a couple other teams. So everyone knows that Jedi Knight Revan is the non-mirror counter to Darth Revan. I wanted to try it, but switching up a couple of the tunes, I put Zaris and Luke in here instead of Bastila and Anakin, JKA that is, to see if it was still doable. And it is. Just because Luke, he doesn't function the exact same way as Anakin, obviously, but there's just so much DPS from him. I am running him offense mods health offset, by the way, for anyone that's curious. All 6E, of course. Yeah, so it's on par with the old counter. I don't know that it's necessarily useful to take Bastila and Jedi Knight Anakin out of here, because where else are they going to go? And Zaris obviously is a great plug-and-play character, can go on a number of different teams. But it is still very doable without Bastila or JKA. You could argue that Bastila and JKA are still the cheaper, look at that, still the cheaper 2 to put in here rather than Zaris and Luke, but I wanted to see if it was possible, and it surely is. Alright, so now we're going to try this team, JKR lead versus a very heavy Rey GL team. It's, yeah, just you'll see. I mean, look at this. This Rey team is beast mode. Rey, Revan, Gas, Hermit Yoda, and GK. If you see this team in TW or GAC, yes, you should rightfully shit your pants, but it's so expensive. I mean, there are 4 key characters from 4 different teams in here. Rey, obviously. JKR is usually his own team. Gas is usually his own team. And GK usually goes with Padme. So if you're seeing this very expensive comp on D in TW or GAC, and you can successfully beat it with what is, at least in my opinion, comparatively cheaper, still very expensive, putting JKR, Luke, and Gas together, very expensive, make no mistake, but you're beating a GL with a non-GL team, so that's hard to say no to. And yeah, sure, I lost Revan, but it doesn't even matter, because just watch. And there's obviously no point in putting Jolie in here, so. Oh, there goes Rey. Look at that. So if you do not have a GL, but you somehow have Luke and these other tunes, this is what I would work on for Arena. Because it works. I don't know if it works as well against SLKR, but if you're running into trouble against Rays, this is the team, in my opinion, that I would work on. I mean, even though I lost JKR here, I got Ray out, I got Gas out. It's, I mean, there's not a whole lot of DPS left on this team. I could put it on auto and just let Luke clean it all up. Boom. And, oh, I triggered the damage immunity, but here we go. Okay, we'll just call Gas again, and that's it. So again, I apologize for the limited number of tests. I will do more.